It was April of 2019. The first week of Fortnite World Cup qualifiers had just begun, and the hype train full steam ahead. And everyone from 13-year-old Timmy to your 28-year-old neighbor was taking their shot at becoming the next big name in esports. Out of the millions of players that gave it their all, one name stood out among the crowd: Dubs. The previously unknown 16-year-old blasted out of nowhere and smashed through the competition right away to earn his seat in New York City.
The first time I qualified for the World Cup, it was crazy. People were shocked at what I had just done.
But it wasn't his stellar performance that put him in the limelight. No, it was something far worse. It was none other than the cheating accusations.
He was not with an organization. They were thinking, who is this guy? He's got to be cheating. Nobody knows who he is.
Cheating is a downright sin in the gaming community, so being publicized as one is something no gamer would ever want to face. With the community suddenly out for blood, the young player had his work cut out for him. Dubs was going to have to do a lot to prove he wasn't a cheater.
Snappy it looks. You guys see how snappy? Like, watch this. Look how, like, flicky and weird it looks. Like, you guys see this? He hits every shot, bro.
But the whole cheating debacle would end up being like a drop in the bucket compared to what would come later. A controversy that's going to end up haunting Dubs for a lifetime. Hello guys, and welcome to Pro Guides. My name is Christoph, and this is the rise and fall of Dubs. Before we get into the video, if you guys want to get better at Fortnite, make sure to click the description link below to go to ProGuides.com and find yourself a pro coach right now. Alright, so why did everyone think Dubs was a cheater? Well, it all started with the first week of the World Cup qualifiers. Dubs, a player most people didn't know about, finished in second place, qualifying him for the New York City finals and guaranteeing a prize of at least $50,000. Then, a couple of days later, a mysterious Twitter user by the name of Aspect Dolphin dropped a bombshell. World Cup qualifier Dubs is a cheater, it said. Discord DMs and posts on hacking forums were screenshotted, implicating Dubs in the purchasing of cheat software. And honestly, the evidence was pretty convincing. With an absurd amount of money on the line, of course there'd be some people looking to gain whatever advantage they could, even if that meant using hacks, right? At least that's what everyone thought. And so the community jumped at Dubs' throat. Even massively influential figures like Tfue didn't bother to wait for any sort of investigation or due process.
Honestly, next week, you're gonna have to find a duo partner because me and Dubs are about to qualify for New York, baby, let's go! We about to qualify, yo!
To have so many pros and members of the community come at Dubs must have felt unwelcoming, to say the least. Qualifying was, after all, the most defining moment in his career, so he handled it the best way he could. He put out a tweet saying, "I'm not cheating, and I'll see you guys at the World Cup." Soon after, it didn't take long for astute individuals to point out that the proof wasn't as clear-cut as everyone believed. The screenshots could have been phony. All someone would have to do is find out a bit of info about Dubs, like the past names he's used, and they could easily create convincing-looking evidence. And the more everyone looked into Dolphin's claims, the flimsier the evidence got. Bitcoin transaction dates didn't match up, evidence from search engines turned out to be false, and when the story first broke, we even downloaded the replays for Dubs' qualifying matches. That's right, the replays were public, and everyone could scrutinize his gameplay. And from what we saw back then, nothing appeared out of order. Not to mention, when was the last time you saw a hacker in Fortnite? Most of you are probably saying never, because surprisingly, Fortnite has some of the best cheat detection software out there. Seriously, it can take you thousands and thousands of games before you run into your first cheater, and it doesn't take very long before they're eventually struck by the ban hammer. Also, the thing is, even though no one really knew about Dubs, the qualifiers weren't his first rodeo. He had fantastic competitive results going back months before these accusations. Either he was cheating back then too, and just hadn't been caught yet, or what's even more likely, he never cheated at all. Finally, it became clear, after being called out time and time again, Aspect Dolphin packed their bags and disappeared without a trace. And to once and for all conclude that Dubs didn't cheat, Epic came out with their own official response. Although they didn't mention Dubs by name, they were clearly talking about those widespread accusations. They said that questioning the results of an individual participant without direct evidence unfairly tears apart what should be a crowning moment of achievement for an individual. And that is totally true. Dubs did nothing wrong, and yet the entire public just turned on him. I guess you could agree. These false claims actually helped jumpstart Dubs' career. But even then, no one should be going around making such awful claims. They can seriously harm a person's mental state.
It was definitely frustrating with all the accusations and people turning on me.
But it seemed as though Dubs remained composed. Okay, so Dubs was legit. All the accusations were just an attempt to frame him. What was Dolphin's end goal? Who knows? But it's the internet. Trolls love to have their day and will do anything to get it. Still, after such a negative experience, Dubs was ready to dominate the world. With his name now cleared, Dubs spent the following weeks making an even bigger splash in the competitive scene. Just to refresh you guys, Dubs qualified for the World Cup in week 1, but that didn't mean he couldn't keep playing. So come week 3, he did it again. Weeks 5 and 7, easy money. In those 4 weeks, his average placement was 3rd place. Mind you, this is out of tens of thousands of players in a game that some would consider luck-based. Dubs was utterly insane at Fortnite. So insane that on May 4th, just half a month after the whole world was calling him a dirty cheater, Dubs achieved his dream. He got picked up by Faze Clan. So Dubs' performance in the qualifiers was exemplary, and his popularity exploded after joining Faze. Now he was a fan-favorite choice to win the World Cup, but the question among a lot of esports enthusiasts was, does Dubs have the confidence to perform on LAN? Well, Dubs thought so. Despite lack of LAN experience, Dubs wasn't nervous. Neither was his duo partner Mega, who he'd be playing with in the duos competition. Still, out of 100 players, was Dubs really gonna be the one to come out on top? Well, we all know now that that wasn't the case. Still, Dubs had some impressive moments during the event.
At a 1v1, 2 players left standing here. Who's it gonna be down low? It's Dubs down low, and Riversand has Dubs on his sight. Who's gonna get the win here? He can possibly maintain, but Riversand, few more explodes remaining. That could punish Dubs.
Really trying to keep him down to the zone here, Golden Boy.
Oh man, this is it. He sends another one out, and they're just telling him you gotta run. He goes into it. He's still holding position. Dubs has the high ground, but he got it. And Dubs gets a victory royale.
While he didn't win, his showing was still massively impressive. 15th place in solos and 7th place in duos with Mega. Overall, just months after being called a fraud, this 16-year-old went home with over 300 grand in his pocket. Fast forward to today, just a couple of weeks ago, Dubs did something unforgivable. Without knowing that one of his friends had their stream turned on, he blurted out a racial slur. What made it especially appalling was his lack of reaction. There was no oops or sorry. He was just silent, expressing zero remorse for his actions. And by the way his friend reacted, it seemed as though this was something he does all the time.
I'm streaming, Dubs. I'm being dead ass. On God, I'm streaming.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut the announcer storytelling voice for a second because I need to give my personal opinion on this. After watching the clip, it just breaks my heart to hear something like this again. I mean, it's something, as growing up playing Counter-Strike, it's something we were accustomed to hearing. It just makes me cringe every time. It's sad to see people still with this level of ignorance. And I thought the gaming community had changed. I thought that we had evolved and gotten better. And it's just very disheartening to see something like this, to see Dubs in this way. And I can only hope that people learn from this and recognize that it's not acceptable. No matter what the intentions are, I don't think that Dubs meant this in an extremely negative way, but regardless of the intentions, this is just absolutely unacceptable. And I hope that everyone in the Pro Guides family understands this, and you guys are model figures in the gaming community to show respect. You can still be competitive, you can still have fun, but you have to be respectful, and this is just, it broke my heart to see this. Okay, I'm gonna continue with my storytelling voice. As expected, the clip took the internet by storm, and the gaming community was outraged. Dubs should be kicked from Faze, people cried out. Ban him on Twitch. Epic Games, do something. Even news outlets from all around the world were slamming Dubs for the incident. Clearly, an example had to be made. But what's an appropriate consequence here? Dubs is 17, and while that's old enough to know not to say such things, it's still that age where dumb decisions get made. So how harsh should the punishment be? Well, the day after the incident, Faze Clan issued theirs. Dubs got indefinitely suspended from streaming, posting on social media, and representing Faze Clan in competitions. Faze is also making him and the rest of their members go through sensitivity training, so he's not dropped from the team entirely. Then, a few days later, Dubs got banned on Twitch. Even though he wasn't streaming himself, he's a Twitch partner. It didn't matter that it wasn't on his own stream. Twitch does not tolerate that kind of behavior from their partners, and so he had to face the consequences. And that's where we are today. Looking ahead, nobody really knows the direction Dubs' career is going. He might get unbanned from Twitch. They usually hand out between a week and 30 days for this type of behavior, but the consequences could be even more severe. Twitch must set the tone after all. They are the leader in the space, and there is no place for this kind of behavior. And since Faze only suspended him, it's not like they're fully dropping him from the team yet. But what if Twitch banned him completely? Would he still remain on the team? At the very least, they gave him sensitivity training, which can hopefully teach Dubs what he did was wrong. Epic Games hasn't dished out any punishments yet, but since it didn't happen directly on their platform, they might just choose to not get involved with the whole ordeal. But my questions are, what about Dubs' future? Like, what if Faze Clan drops him? With all the controversy behind him, is he going to be able to find another organization? And what if he stops becoming a pro player? What if he tries to go get a job? Will this stain his record forever? This slip-up may not have only cost Dubs a future in Fortnite, but it could have affected his life in the real world as well. Alright guys, that's going to conclude the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. I want to get this conversation started. Let us know down below what you guys think about Dubs, what you guys think about this video and what happened. I would love to know. I read all the comments down below. Let me know. And once again, if you guys want to get better at Fortnite, then click the description link below and go find your pro coach right now. Once again, guys, it's been Christoph. Thank you so much for watching the video, and good luck in your next few games.